Hello. This video today is going to be about emotional and feeling energy and how it relates to dermatillomania. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos that ever since I stopped picking my skin, I began to deal with the suppressions that were hiding underneath the skin picking disorder. And what I realized is that I'm actually quite an emotional person. I feel things deeply, very painfully, or on the opposite end of the spectrum, very high, excited type experience. And how this I have seen has been contributing to my skin picking disorder through not actually expressing or working through what I was feeling. So emotional and feeling energy. Emotional is the negative, the depression, the sadness, pain, hurt, and feeling is the positive, the happy, excited. Positive energy. And energy is what you create and manifest in your body. There's physical energy, and then there's feeling and emotional energy, which is basically like unexpressed physical energy, which just sits in the body. So what I noticed was I will have thoughts or events happen to me throughout my day, and they will create emotional and feeling energy. And what I will do is, in the moment of the thought happening or the event happening, I will immediately suppress what I'm actually experiencing within myself and go into this absolute stability, this blankness, this holding. And only later will I then experience the reactions to the thing that happened or the thought that I had or the thoughts. So it's kind of like this delayed, I can make the analogy of getting hit and the pain kind of slowly coming after the moment of impact. That's how I personally experience everything in life. I've noticed I always have this momentary hesitation of just kind of a pause where I have to analyze the thing that just happened and decide how I feel about it. And because of the intensity of the feelings and emotions, often with the emotional reactions, the negative ones, I will, in that moment of pause, choose that I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to just shove this down, ignore this, and suppress it. And what happens to unused energy? It feels almost like a generator inside my body. This like constantly churning sensation where I just get so antsy and fidgety and just want to move, and that is like the pure energy. But then what happens is it wants to almost latch on to certain thoughts. So if something's bothering me, I need to get something done, I've had a relationship interaction that is weighing on me, that churning generator of emotional energy is seeking to latch on to something to be used. And you can either use it in your mind through thinking about it and bringing it up, and then you create this entire experience that's often unpleasant. Or you can use it physically, and that is where skin picking would come in for me. Because what I had found with skin picking is that I don't actually have to deal with the thing. I don't actually have to feel it and confront it and look at it and look at who I actually am in my life with other people, with myself, and process through the feeling or emotion. And with skin picking, that churning sensation would build and build and build until I did something physically to exert the energy, and for me that was skin picking. And so now what I'm left with without that outlet of skin picking is the churning. And that's why I always say dermatillomania is more than just picking the skin. It's actually who you are within yourself, how you function throughout your day, and your feelings and emotions and your thoughts, your reactions, your judgments. Everything of who you are has to do with skin picking. It's not just the physical act of doing it. There are deeper levels. So now that I don't have that outlet, I have been finding other outlets to deal with this energy instead of just letting it churn there. And it really does feel unbearable. I mean, I know everybody who has dermatillomania knows how unbearable the sensation is, and that is undealt with emotions and feelings. Just because they feel good and feel positive doesn't mean that they're not as destructive when it comes to unused energy, unexpressed parts of self. Because these are actually parts of ourself that we're not living, because instead we're experiencing it as this energy that we're not expressing. So it's really a process of getting to know yourself and expressing the energies and letting them be lived in reality instead of only existing in this kind of dimensional plane inside your body where it's a feeling that nobody else can see or feel or understand, and maybe it puts you in a mood, but unless you talk about it and explain it to others, they're not going to know. It's like this secret place you have in your body where you can be busy with all kinds of stuff without really having to share it with your environment if you don't want to. And I've been finding that expressing the energy and not in a way where you kind of pour it onto people and make it their problem. I mean responsibly, containing it, seeing that it's you that's doing it, and talking to others not in blame, spite, anger, expectation, anything like that, but just expressing what's going on with yourself and living it out. I mean, sometimes it's as simple as, if you're excited, do a little happy dance instead of sitting there and not fully expressing your excitement. If you're sad, cry, talk to someone. If you're hurt, look at the reasons why and see what you can change. And then for me, when I talked about feeling these things kind of intensely, I found that so far in my process of healing that I really, really need to physically burn the energy, ground it, give it direction. And I mean, it can be totally unrelated to the actual points that's causing the emotional energy, because sometimes they are just there because it's habitual and you just need to not give them focus and attention. So it's also to develop this discernment of when to give it attention, understanding, working through, and when it's just become a habitual pattern of going into these emotional and feeling states. For me, when it's become a habitual pattern, what I do is I work physically. I could be doing yoga. I just moved to a beautiful piece of land that you can see that I'm busy with a community of people clearing. So this is an excellent outlet for me right now. In fact, this morning I got up and the first thing I did was go out into the field and start raking weeds, and that had been brush cutted, and then jumped into the river. And what that does is it really grounds you back into your body, brings you back into your body. In physical reality, when you get the emotions and the feelings out of that secret dimension in your body into physical reality, they also tend to shrink down a little bit. It's like things can feel so much bigger and so much worse when they're kept inside. And then when you get them out, you actually see them for what they are. And a lot of the time they become more manageable. Okay, so this is my video on feeling and emotional energy, just introducing that concept a little bit and how I've been working with it and experiencing it. Maybe you can relate. Let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye.